Last week I questioned the Mayor on rough sleeping. How we treat marginalised and vulnerable people is a barometer of how civilised a city we are. So rough sleeping, which is increasing at a rather alarming rate, is an incredibly important issue for this city. The government has given the Mayor just under 34 million to spend on services for rough sleepers for over the next 4 years. I was questioning the Mayor about the fact that between his draft budget in December and the final budget he made in February this year, he has cut 5.3 million over that sum that the government gave him. Why has he cut it? And if he intends to spend that money on rough sleepers, where is it? And that's what I was questioning him on. In addition, the services for rough sleepers are under contract to voluntary organisations. 7 of those contracts have expired. Why have they expired? Why has he let them expire?
Thank you very much. You asked why rough sleeping is increasing, and there seem to be roughly three answers at the moment. The broad economic conditions, an increase in arrivals from Eastern Europe, I'm told, is a factor, and there's anxiety that rough sleepers are not getting good advice or prompt advice from boroughs. But what we are doing to deal with the situation is the No Second Night Out scheme, and that is the purpose of the project. It is working pretty well, and almost 80% of rough sleepers now spend only one night on the streets. And of the 600, if you look at March, April this year, there were 667 new rough sleepers. Only 19 recorded. Only 19 went on to spend more than 3 weeks sleeping rough. Obviously, that is an unacceptable figure. But the No Second Night Out scheme is working well, and obviously we mean to step it up.
Yes, well, thank you for that and for telling us about those initiatives. The government, in April, you said that the government had rewarded you for the work you've been doing with around 34 million, which you were going to spend every penny on using...
33.8.
33.8, getting people off the street. And between December's draft and February's final budget, 5.3 million from the government money was cut from the budget, was not there. And I wondered if you intended to really spend every penny on helping people off the streets.
Well, I can certainly say that throughout the CSR period, we are going to spend 33.8 million on tackling rough sleeping. There's 9.5 million allocated to that end this year. That's an increase of 2 million on what was spent last year. And you're going to see exactly how it's going to be spent, set out in the business plan for the Housing and Land Directorate.
But why didn't you, if you didn't intend to reduce the budget, why did you? I mean, it doesn't happen with other budget lines. Why is that 5.3 not there?
Well,
where is it?
What I can tell you is that there's 9.5 allocated for rough sleeping services this year, and we're going to spend 33.8 over the CSR period. So I don't know quite what you mean when you say 5 million isn't...
Well, 5.3, and you've been written to about it, not just by myself, but by most of the voluntary services and charities that deliver rough sleeping. So you can't be ignorant of that fact.
Well, I'm not certain that it is a fact, Nicky. I think it may be an allegation.
I don't understand why the full amount was in the draft and the 5.3 million was missing in the main thing. And to move on, you appear also to have cut not just the budget, but also the contracts, because they expired in March. Do you know how many contracts have expired for rough sleeping services?
I can't give you those figures. What I do know is that the No Second Night Out project is working extremely well, and that we're
but it's
going to be
increasing. Entrenched rough sleeping, despite your efforts, entrenched rough sleeping, No Second Night Out is increasing, as Darren pointed out last month. But I'm really trying to find out where this money is and why the contracts have expired.
Okay, well, I think I've tried to answer you on the money point, Nicky. I can only give you the information that I have before me, which is that we're allocating 9.5 million to tackling rough sleeping this year, to rough sleeping services, and that's obviously money that goes. We aren't a provider of services ourselves. That cash goes to other contractors, other bodies that deal with the problem. And over the CSR period, as I said, we're going to be spending 33.8
Well, I would like
million.
you to come back and explain where the 5.3 million is. There are seven expired...
You keep mentioning this 5.3
Yes,
million.
it's not in your budget.
Well, no, that's because my budget
And everyone's
is
writing to you asking where it is. And there are 7 expired contracts at the moment. And I just can't believe, for someone who's so committed to dealing with rough sleeping, or claims to be so committed, that you can be so slack about this.
No.
People are very concerned.
Well, I think they may.
There are no, you know,
maybe that they're reading scare stories, and that you know, I've certainly seen. I'm not ignorant of the scare story, and I've seen this allegation made by the Labour Party, but what I haven't seen.
No, all the charities.
What I haven't seen is the confirmation, because my budget allocates 9.5 million to rough sleeping services this year, which is 2 million more than last year, and as I said, we're going to be spending 33.8 million on tackling rough sleeping over the CSR period. That is a wholehearted commitment to tackling the problem.
Mayor, you should go back and look. You consulted on a commissioning framework last August. You still haven't published it. It was supposed to be published by March. That is what's going to sign off those services. There's money missing, and those services have not been signed off. There's 7 expired contracts. Please look at it.
Don't forget